Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Warm welcome to all of you to our Building Spiritual Muscle sessions. I think we are resuming after almost about 4 weeks. So as you all know, we were busy with our Jeevan Jaach second anniversary celebrations. जो साढ़े नाल live जुड़े सन, उन्हां दा बहुत बहुत शुक्राना. जो नहीं जुड़ पाए, ते साढ़े recorded session साढ़े जीवन जांच YouTube channel पे available हैं, तो तुसी उन्हां दा लाहा ले सकते हो. Thank you so much. Coming back to our Building Spiritual Muscle sessions, जो साढ़े नाल अगर कोई नवी संगत जुड़ी है आज, तो these sessions are all about enlightenment. ਅਸੀਂ need of the hour topics ਲੈਣੇ ਆ, ਜਿਵੇਂ forgiveness, empathy, parenting. So ਹੁਣ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ topic ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ, current topic ਸੀ ਸਾਡਾ women empowerment. So we are currently on our part 17 series. तो उस तो बाद साढ़े open forums होंगे. So आज दा जो open forum है, it's basically based on women empowerment. उस तो अलावा आप जी दे कोई भी सवाल हो related to any of Bhua's topics या वैसे कोई सवाल हो other than any personal सवाल, फिर आप जी chat विच पा सकते हो या Zoom राही hand raise कर सकते हो, ते अपना सवाल रख सकते हो. Over to you, Bhua ji.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I think काफी rest ले चुके हैं. So back to job. Now I will start with a few 4-5 slogans of women empowerment. बड़े ध्यान ना सुनना. Women are equal to men, still not got their due respect. An educated man can feed a family, but an educated woman can speed the growth. A woman is a country's fate. Do not put her life at stake. Restrict a woman's growth and you shall restrict a family's growth. Woman's oppression is an obstacle. Powerful and free women create a miracle. So please do not put a scar or a black mark on your femininity. Follow your inner voice. So we say the cosmic goddesses rises up. So I will just give a little recap of what we had done in the 5 days so that you can put up the questions. We had done what is empowerment, why empowerment is very necessary, and how to empower them. फिर असी spirituality दे हिसाब दे नाल भी लिखता है. We try to trigger the power, the divinity power. A woman has been blessed by the Almighty. Then we have also given you how to maintain this woman empowerment and where women should be saying no. Why should they be saying no? So these are all the questions in the 5 days I've done. You can now put up any questions that you have related to women empowerment. And we'll try our level best to give you the answers. Hanji. Arvinda, you can go forward.
जी जी. कोई भी सवाल हो तो चैट विच पा सकते हो या Zoom राही हैंड रेस करके Bhua जी को पूछ सकते हो. So सवालों दा सिलसिला शुरू करते हुए पहला सवाल है, Bhua ji, when you see a man climb the corporate ladder and very successful, so you admire his growth. But suppose a woman is at the same position. So कई बार किथे ना किथे वो doubt आंदा है कि maybe she's reached that position through unfair means, yeah, she's compromising on her family life, her house, she's neglecting that. So why this duality? Why does a woman have to be answerable for her success? But for a man, it's a different thing. It's looked up to.
See, because being a man-dominating society, it hits the man's ego. Aaj tak, men are not able to take this. It hits the man's ego. If a woman rises to that, they become very insecure. It is the insecurity and that ego that is playing up. And these questions arise because of this. Because of this, these questions arise कि शायद हो सकता है कोई गलत means use कीते हुए हो सकता है वो family neglect करती होएगी. That is why they start. And I'm not telling you this also कि हो सकता when women reach to that part also, at times women neglect the family. Yes, they do. There are people and all girl ladies who definitely do. But usually the men who come up, unknown people who do not know and they see a woman at that power, these questions come up because they become insecure and it hits the ego.
Exactly. Now, when we talk of knowledge, like we say, knowledge is the prime requisite for empowerment. सबको पहले knowledge होनी चाहिए. But इतनी education के बाद, suppose a girl gets married into a family and that family is financially very stable. So वो thinking है कि पैसे की लोड नहीं है, क्यों कम करो? You know, कार कौन संभालेगा? Then you feel कि वो इतनी education, इतनी जो degree ली है, college with तुसी university with एक seat भी block कर देती. Somebody else could have got that position. So why all this? इतना कुछ पढ़ लिख के, but in the end you're doing nothing about it.
Yeah. See, this is where we are trying to bring a change in the society. That is where we are bringing. पहले तो गाले में कि we have started educating the girls. We have started educating them. Now, when we have started educating them, this is another part the women have started attaining. घर गृहस्थी संभालना, बच्चे संभालना, that was one of the field which was already given to them. But when they have been educated, this is another field which they have to also take over. But the women have to be made to realize that they are multitask. They are multitask they can do. Okay. So if a girl gets married and she is educated, definitely if she tries to overlook her family and overlook the house, then they will definitely take a stand that you will not do a job. But there's always another way. We always say nowadays, ladies, we say, okay, bache school chale gaye, kargasi ho gaye, please go for a job, do it for 3-4 hours, come back by the children, come back and all. And ladies can do it, they can do it very beautifully. They can do it very beautifully. So they should not be restricted with so much of education. They should not be. They can definitely find a way. But yes, jere log ekdam mindset ho chuka hai ki nahi karna. So then there's no other way. You cannot fight them there. There are people who don't allow because we are very sound, we don't need. Agar you're very sound, you don't need, then let the women go to the place where the men are working. Let them join hands with the men. Join hands with the men. That is also a growth. So I think they should be given. And yes, you could not compromise on the children and the family. You cannot compromise. Hanji.
Yes, let them join Jeevan Charge. They can do social service.
Yes.
So many things to do.
Yes.
So when we talk of education, Puaji, like imparting education, the nal, a core problem jodi hundi hai, that of population. Like I'm talking about grassroots level, like the domestic staff at home. They are still thinking ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਉਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਲੜਕਾ ਤਾਂ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਐਂਡ ਵੈਨ ਦੇ ਗੈਟ ਅ ਗਰਲ ਚਾਈਲਡ ਉਹ ਕਈ ਵਾਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੜੀ ਜਲਦੀ ਕੰਮ ਤੇ ਲਾ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਸਕੂਲੋਂ ਵੀ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ because maybe they have a alcoholic husband or they have a wife beater at home, so they need support. So this situation is there rampant in the rural areas, and so how to tackle this situation?
Because this is where we people are now going out. These are the areas where we are trying to help them. This is the areas where we are trying to educate the girls. We don't want the education of the girls to be stopped. We are getting the wives and all into areas where they can sustain their own life. They can sustain how to feed their own children. So this is where now we people are working on these areas. These areas are very weak. कि कुड़ियां नु जल्दी ब्याह छोड़ना, कुड़ियां नु जल्दी कट लेना, कुड़ियां नु काम ते लगा देना, लड़का होना. This is a belief system which we have already been living with. This is where we are trying to bring a change. This is where we're trying to bring a change. And this change can come only if the women are empowered. If the women are empowered. It is just because the women are not being empowered, they are being treated as domats. They are scared. They have all the old belief system where we cannot speak. We have no right to talk anywhere. So this is where we're trying to empower them. We're not trying to tell them that you have a power over your husbands. No, we're telling them have the power over yourself. Empower yourself, not to power over your husbands. When we empower over ourselves with the help of the knowledge and then implement that knowledge. So what is it? They learn how to take a stand. They know how to bring up excellent children, and they empower their own means. According to the Gurbani, कहते ना मन दे ऊपर ताल दे खेड़ देने लोग अपने spiritual muscles को strong कर दे. When they make the spiritual muscles strong and all, then what happens? They make the children empowered. They make the men also empower. They don't have a power over the men, but they empower the men also. So that is why the woman has to be empowered. If she is empowered, you can say the country is empowered.
Yes, exactly.
And we have to definitely tell them also, yes, this is what we are all are trying to bring a change. Anji.
Yes. Somebody is asking, what is your definition of women empowerment? What do you mean by women empowerment?
See, my way of women empowerment is definitely not कि ਅਸੀਂ ਆਦਮੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ power ਕਰੀਏ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਅਸੀਂ you can become a dominating person. No, I'm not talking about that at all. Absolutely not. Empowering means first we have to empower ourselves. For example, if I have been treated or behaved in such a way with me, I empowered myself not to take the bloody shit of the people. I did not take the shit. But I did not take the shit of the people not by fighting with them, in a very graceful way, by empowering apne man de tal, apne spiritual muscles strong kita hai. Speaking with all those love and care, we brought a change in the society. We brought a change into the men folks. We brought change into the children. We brought changes into the relationship. But that was only the day I empowered myself. So every one of us have to empower ourselves in a very positive way. In a very positive way. Pehle we stand in Ilazad, now we can take a stand, a very graceful stand. Because we know all the concepts, concepts are clear, the tools are clear, the repercussions we know, we have the knowledge, the intellect. So that is why we can take a step, but we take it very gracefully. So empowerment for me is that you have to empower yourself. Don't use that word empowerment means कि ऐसी जने खने दे ऊपर ऐसी power use शुरू कर देंगे. No.
Yes, exactly. Actually, we are suffering from a disease called people pleasing. We want to please people all the time. We don't know our own worth, our own value, we do not know. So how can we learn to say no, and how can we put ourselves before everything else? Give importance to yourself.
Yes. See, as a puri zindagi na, we have just been pleasing people. Why? Because man domination was there. That domination करके साडे वड्डियां ने भी यही गल कही है, घर गृहस्थी संभालनी यही करना है, सस दे सामने सोरे दे सामने उठे बैठो, जिथे उठो बैठो वही करो. We have been trained, and in this type of feeding of us, when we enter into our life, what happens? What happens? We are not able to speak for ourselves. We are not ready to live for ourselves. We are only pleasing the people. Oh, kush, asi kush. But it should have been assi khush te jaan khush. Kadi kam hoya ki assi khush te jaan khush nahi. Assi kehne ji log khush te assi khush. We always put ourselves behind. Keep yourself in the priority. You are first. Yes, help people. But when you find that there is a lot of stress and you feel that your well-being or is hurting you, your growth, move back. Keep your priority. That doesn't mean that you are self-centered or selfish. No. Keep your priority. That you are first. Learn to look after yourself. Learn to be happy. Do what you want to do. हाली तक असी वो काम कीता ही नहीं है. असी वही काम कीता जिहड़े लोगां नूं खुश कीता बस. This is the whole life we have done. And गलती किस दी? गलती साडियां दी. आज असी उन्हां नूं ऐसी आदत पा चुकी है कि अगर now we want to take a little back step and all, they cannot take it. They are not ready to take it. They feel that we are so badly wounded because they cannot take the change. But doesn't matter. Little patience, slow and steady, definitely the change will come. You have to learn to live for yourself.
Anji, somebody's put in the chat that we are conditioned to accept male domination.
So that is what you want. If I say I am, then I don't want. I don't get it. If I want, I will get it. So you have been conditioned. Where have you been conditioned? You have been conditioned in your subconscious mind. Because all the subconscious mind is being conditioned and fed. How? By the environment, by the people, by your own intellect. You are fed it. So you're living that way. I've been conditioned by the men. No, I am not conditioned. You just have to affirm to yourself, enough is enough. Take a stand. Take a very nice and a very graceful stand. Empower yourself. You are a multitask. You can do. The pain that you have gone through. And then a physical body, a mother giving birth to another child, another human being. You can see the power. But उस power नो तो थोड़ा पहचानो. उस power नो तो पहचानो. इसी करके the woman say no. We are like men. We are all like the men. We can do everything what the men can do, but the men never say that we can do what the woman can do. Because this area is very, very difficult, which is not possible. So the women have to be triggered. They have to be told, you have the divinity power. अगर तुसी एक बच्चा पैदा कर सकते हो, you have that power. You can enter into your motherhood, the compassion, the love, the pain that you have. You can do anything in the world you want, which men cannot do. So if you think that you have that limited, I don't have it. If you want to be like that, that's your choice. हाँ जी
जी ਭੂਆ ਜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਲਾਈਫ ਦਾ ਰਿਮੋਟ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਨੂੰ ਦੇ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਸਿਵਾਏ ਆਪਣੇ ਹੱਥ ਵਿੱਚ yes please feel free to put forth your questions ਜੋ ਵੀ ਸਵਾਲ ਹੋਣ not necessarily women empowerment related any other topic ਭੂਆ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਜਾਂ any other enlightenment you need confirmation ਜਾਂ clarity please put forth your questions ਭੂਆ ਜੀ what about women who like their entire life they have given for their family sacrificing maybe their careers also in some cases and then in the last phase of their life they are literally like abandoned abused by their husband by their children who have no time for them so then at that point of time they cannot take any stand ki sari umar assi ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਹੁਣ ਲੋਕ ਕੀ ਕਹਿਣਗੇ so there is such section of women also so what about them what should they do
ਹੁਣ ਉਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਗਲਤੀ ਕਿਸ ਦੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੇ ਕਹਾਂਗੇ ਕਿ ਗਲਤੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਵੈਸੇ ਤਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਗਲਤੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਇਗਨੋਰੈਂਸ ਵਾਸ देयर ਹੈ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਦੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਦੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਸੌਫਟਵੇਅਰ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਜੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫੀਡ ਕਰੋਗੇ ਨਾ ਉਹੀ ਸਕਰੀਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਏਗਾ ਆਂਦਾ ਨਾ when you're working on a computer we type it everything goes in the computer and comes out on the screen same thing today how we are behaving we are not able to speak we give the 100% of the children that bringing up all the thing why because we have been fed that way and that is how we are expressing it so now agar you express kar rahe hain and in the end this is what happens ki we are abandoned and lot of bullshit we people have to take galti kis di akhir har ke ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਗਲਤੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੀ ਗਲਤੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਬੇਸ਼ੱਕ it is an ignorance but ਗਲਤੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਨਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹਰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਪਲੈਟਰ ਦੇ ਦਿੱਤਾ everywhere the 100% we are giving to them what did we do for ourselves did we become independent we've always been dependent on those people or the children or the husband or the been independent so as soon as possible do it there are people I'm with a lot of people and not who are at the age of very big age even at the age of 80-85 also the ladies and all say that assi log U-turn le baithe ha we have taken a U-turn so it's never too late but you must know the concepts you must know the technique you must know the tools if you take that you can take a U-turn and you can definitely become independent you can be a happy person you will be happy the world will be happy with you I've got people who have done it so it's never too late Hanji
exactly so what should change on the outside or what should change rather inside for this empowerment to be effective
yes see I already told you before also in the second day of the spirituality or woman empowerment I did this is a change that comes inside us this is the change that comes inside us So we had connected this with what? हर एक इंसान दा जेरा मन है वो स्त्री रूप है, स्त्री रूप है ना। अगर वो स्त्री रूप है तो पुरुष कौन है? वो एक जेरा अंदर बैठा है, उसदे नाल मिलाप होना है। मिलाप कदू होएगा? जदों मेरा मन पूरी तरह गुणां दे विच भिज जाएगा। जदों मेरा मन पूरी तरह गुणां नाल भिज गया, वो स्त्री रूप मन भिज गया ते एक दे नाल एक मित हो गया। You can imagine the spiritual muscles that are going to be built up. Now this spiritual muscle, let it be a woman, let it be a man, let it be a child, let it be an old person, anyone, whoever works on this theory, their man is become so, the spiritual muscles are so strong, then that woman can go in any area of life. Let it be Kargrasti de vich, she'll bring up the family beautifully. Kargrasti bahut sona sama hai. Even if she goes into the working place, she will do wonders. She goes into the society, she will do wonders. Why? Because the man rupi stri se na, oh chardi kla vich chala gaya. So a man rupi stri is available for everyone. Let it be a man, let it be a woman, let it be a child, let it be an old person. So hai khed man di, ithe aake sada EQ becomes very strong. So hai andar di khed, ye hai andar di khed. हाली वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट सुन के बड़े लोग तैयार हो जी, पता नहीं कितने सानू जनानियां नु इतना तगड़ा कर देंगे कि असि ते डंडे खुसरे लेके शुरू हो जाएगी। नो, दिस इज अ वेरी पॉजिटिव वे ऑफ एम्पावरमेंट, वेरी दिस थिंग। पहले वुमेन वर व्हाट? मशीन्स। बच्चे पैदा कर दे रहो, लड़की हो गया कर दो, लड़का है तो रख लो, लड़का नहीं है तो करते जाओ जब तक लड़का ना होवे। Now we are empowering the woman that you have the right to take a decision. You have the right to take a decision. In sexuality, you have the right to take your decisions in birth. This is empowerment. So time is coming up. Yes, it will definitely. Slow and steady wins the race.
Exactly. Ji, we have a hand raised. Ji, Rita ji.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਫਤਿਹ ਬੱਚਾ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੁਣੇ ਬੋਲਿਆ ਨਾ ਕਿ 올ਡ ਲੇਡੀਜ਼ ਵੀ ਯੂ ਟਰਨ ਲੈਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਬਟ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਕਨ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਮਝਿਆ, ਰਿਵੀਜ਼ਨ ਜਿਕਨ ਕੀਤਾ, ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਸੁਣਿਆ, ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਮੀ ਟਾਈਮ ਕੱਢੋ, ਥੋੜਾ ਨੋ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਸਿੱਖੋ। ਬਟ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਵੀ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਬੋਲਾਂਗੇ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਫਿਰ ਬੇਵਕੂਫ ਸੀ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰਾ ਦਿਨ ਘਰ ਗ੍ਰਸਤੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਲੱਗੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਜਿਕਨ ਇੱਕ ਕੰਮ ਫਿਨਿਸ਼ ਹੋਇਆ, दूजा भी अपडेट तुरंत चाहिए। मीन्स पेंटिंग वर्क नहीं जाना चाहिए, क्लोथिंग तुले ने तो हुने प्रेस हो जाने चाहिए, शामी नहीं होने चाहिए ने। इफ यू हैव डिड सी, और एक जगह भी फैक्टर रख दी है ना, असी चिकन वेल डेवलप नहीं है। मान लो असी मेट्रोपोलियन सिटी च नहीं रहते, नॉट एवरी टाइम इलेक्ट्रिसिटी वी हैव, तो फिर उस तरह भी है, फिर जगह भी है उस तरह की। जे विचार आन कि यू टर्न लो तो फिर ये भी तो होएगा, हाँ हुण जिथे रहंदे आ आंड गवांड कौन की बोलेगा। ये भी तो फैक्टर्स होंदे ने जो फिर डेवलप नहीं करन देंदे ना भूआ जी।
See, I'll tell you one thing. मैं तो नहीं कल दसा। Please very attentive to what I'm going to tell you now. Women empowerment. Agar if you understand the spirituality part means that in any way, whatever you're going to behave, Kargrasti as a mother, as a wife, as a daughter-in-law, as a mother-in-law, as a friend, whatever labels you are going to carry. Agar spirituality the asab de naam, agar spiritual muscles strong hun, you carry a very different type of energy. You carry a very different type of an energy. Otherwise, बच्चे पढ़ गए, पढ़ लिख के कुड़ियां आईयां, ओके मैं तो बहुत ज्यादा पढ़ गई हूं, हुन मैं थोड़ी घर बैठांगी, मैं तो बाहर जाऊंगी। What is the energy behind? Look at the ego. You can see the ego behind it. That type of an energy. So that type of energy is also going to work. खाली ये नहीं कि बाहर जाना, that ego is going to work. That egoism shows, और जरे कार होंगे ना तो वो भी सोचेंगे क्योंकि she's throwing an energy of ego, and that ego से क्यों? Why? कार से कौन संभालेगी? कार बैठो जी, कौन संभालेगा? Why? Because that energy of ego is working. आजकल तेरे बच्चे बाहर जाके पढ़ के काम करते हैं ना, they leave the house and everything. House is suffering, children are suffering, and they're only working. ਅਗਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਇਹ ਐਨਰਜੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆਫ ਈਗੋ that ਅਸੀਂ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਲਿਖ ਗਏ ਸਾਡੀ ਆਈਡੈਂਟੀਟੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੇਸ ਥੋੜੀ ਜਾਣਾ we can climb the ladder we can go into progress we can have a growth ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹ ਈਗੋ ਬੋਲਦੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ is in the cost of spoiling the own family life the children's life. But if you are educated and you want to do a thing but you have got the spiritual muscle is strong, that means you're going to carry a very different type of an energy. ਹੁਣ ਉਹ energy ਕਿਹੜੀ carry ਹੋਏਗੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਸੋਚੋਗੇ ਕਿ ਚਲੋ I don't need to, I've got enough of money, but chalo, I'll just pass time taki I can help someone, I can do something for 2-3 hours, it's okay. I have to look after my family. Where I have to speak, this is not right. I think we should take a stand. Your energy is working more than your words, your energies are working. People are going to take it. They will take it very gracefully. Take it very, very gracefully. That is why we say the spiritual muscles have to be very strong. The woman has to know the spirituality of a woman when she gives birth to a child. If she can turn her blood into milk and she can take that pain and give birth to another human being with full of love and compassion and that pain that she's going, that is why Janani Braya Jandaman. And she is a multi-talent. She has so much work she can do at one thing. Her high spirits are very, she has to be made to realize that she has a divinity power blessed by the oneness. अगर वो उस चीज दे डालो सारी चीजें नु हैंडल करे लोग भी उसने हैंडल करने नु तैयार हो जाएंगे नहीं बच्चे कोई नहीं we are there no don't worry we'll help you out here because the energy is working. आजकल बच्चे पढ़ लिख के कह देंगे नहीं ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਆਇਡੈਂटिटी ਬਣਾਣੀ we are ਤਾਂ done this ਅਸੀਂ पढ़ लिख के ਅਸੀਂ कोई चौके थोड़ी संभालना है. This is the ego that is speaking. And that ego spoils other relationships. So you have to be very careful about this.
Okay. Thank you, Bhua ji.
Hanji.
Bhua ji, recently I was seeing a movie on Netflix. So the main protagonist, the female, she searches for the garbage in a hospital and she finds dead female fetus. And she's told that this is a very common sight in hospitals. So it is so heart-wrenching to see that nowadays people are still doing it. Ki ladki paida hui hai to, just throw the garbage without telling the mother. They tell the mother that a dead stillborn was born. So, I mean, and one side we're talking about women empowerment. Yes. Isn't it ironic?
Because that is why now, women empowerment aajkal bahut ut raha hai. Every part of the world, this women empowerment is coming up. And I'm sure it's going to hit somewhere. But this is the reason. Where they're killing these fetuses, they're killing the baby girls, where they're being sexually abused. This is the reason why this woman empowerment is coming up now. But we have to make it very clear, take it in a positive way. Take it in a positive way. Hanji.
So then are we moving towards women empowerment or are we moving towards a rebellious era? Because what happens sometimes, there's a very thin dividing line between empowerment and rebellion. Because when you are financially stable, then your tolerance level, I think, goes a little down. You don't want to take shit from anybody. So how to balance both?
So then that is what I'm telling. Ki, rebellious becomes negative. And empowerment is positive. We are talking about women empowerment. In women empowerment, we are not going to hurt anyone. We are not going to destroy anything. Empowerment is own itself is what? Is defined as a knowledge which is going to be bestowed on us people, where we can take relevant and we can take sound decisions, where we can take informations, take skills and evaluate appropriate scenarios. We have to. So this is a very positive, not rebellious. Woman empowerment is not rebellious at all. Empowering means what? Empower your inside. Empower your inside. Yes, no, one no empower karo. The spiritual muscle strong karo. Hanji.
Yes. Especially with domestic violence, so much on the rise, because during this COVID period, the real, there was so much of domestic violence because the husbands were at home 24/7. So the true nature of the husband and of the marriage, and there were so many marriages that broke up, so many cases of domestic violence. because we've never spent so much time together. It was very surprising, you know. So then this domestic violence, who needs to be, therapied? Who needs to be given therapy?
So that is why we say that woman empowerment. Why didn't we say men empowerment?
Yes.
It's woman empowerment, because woman has that capability, has that energy. She's called as the goddesses. You know, a very nice slogan which she says, no, rises. What of the goddesses? Why? Why goddesses? Because the divinity power a woman has. And if we empower the woman where? Usde man de talte. Or for example, there's a conflict between a husband and wife, the wife comes over. So how do we empower them? We empower them by taking out all what they have inside. After that, we try to channel it. We try to help them to fix up their own man. Aise man no fix karande hain again. And then when we fix up the man, then automatically her energy is going to ooze out. And she, after being empowered, they say, no, empower yourself and then empower everyone. Then you can empower. Asi empower hoye na hoye. Asi usi chameliyan vich paye hoye ladai jagde hoye domestic vich paye hoye. Asi fir empower kitu kariye. So empower yourself. This domestic violence jera harya hai. Yes, definitely the reality is coming out in the COVID. But then when this comes up, if you empower yourself inside, I can challenge you can change the scenario. You can change the scenario. हाँ जी
जी आशमिन जी
वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह आंटी. So auntie, just a little summary of what you have tried to explain to us is कि अगर मेरे मन दी जोत जाग गई है और मैंने पता है कि मेरी ये boundaries है क्या ने, and I'm making my boundaries, I have to show my self-worth to myself.
Yes. Yes.
And then ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ when the frog is singing in the water ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ripples ਬਣਦੇ ਨੇ sound the waves bandiyan hai, and then it affects everybody around. So if today I can show my self-worth to myself और मैंने पता है कि केड़ी चीज मेरे वास्ते हाँ कह के लाभदायक है for me and my family, at the same time अगर मैं ना कहनी है तो how it is going to affect other family members and me collectively. If I'm able to take those kind of decisions for me and my family is when I am empowered. Power ते मेरे अंदर शुरू तो सी क्योंकि रब ने औरत का दर्जा बनाया ही सब तो ऊंचा. That is why the birth to a child is given by a woman, not by a man. 9 महीने ताई औरत ते अंदर इतनी power हैगी है to keep, but ਅਸੀਂ ਭੁੱਲ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ. I have a friend, she is going through a lot of problem with her family, in-laws. ਹੁਣ ਉਸਨੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਤੇ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਨੇ ਅਲੱਗ ਉਸਦੇ ਕੋਲੋਂ, hostel ਪਾ ਦਿੱਤੇ. Divorce अजय होया नहीं है, everything is fighting. Now she would say कि मेरे husband के बच्चे. I said, why do you say that? उसने तो नहीं रखे थे 9 महीने अंदर, वो तो तुमने रखे थे. Why do you say that? ते कहती because उसने I am not doing anything for my kids. I'm not able to do anything for my kids because I'm financially not strong. मैं stress दी वजह तो हमेशा thinking about the whole scenario. So she started using these terminologies. Now when she's using these terminologies, at the same time she's giving more power to her husband than to understand her own power, which is where we women go wrong when we give our own power to others. इत्थे किसी दा message भी हैगा वे कि a woman is woman's enemy, which I don't feel is true, auntie. Which I don't feel is true, because agar a woman can be an enemy, a husband can be an enemy, a child can be an enemy at the same time. Point is, how much power and significance are we giving to that person to hold our problems?
So that means, bacha, first we have to learn to respect ourselves. We must know our own worth. What are we doing on this platform? We are trying to trigger that power in all the women, that divinity power that you have. ਸਾਨੂੰ ਹਾਲੇ ਤੱਕ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ।
ਨਹੀਂ,
ਅਸੀਂ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਜੀ ਮਸ਼ੀਨ ਆ, ਪੈਦਾ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਮਸ਼ੀਨ ਆ, but we did not know the energy behind it. Today we are triggering those energies. Why? That we should know that we are worth it. We have to learn to respect ourselves. We don't have to give the remote to everyone. Keep the remote to yourself. Learn to live for yourself. Learn to love yourself. Learn to first respect yourself. You're not respecting yourself. अगर वो बच्चे उसने दे देते, अगर बच्चे नु नहीं उसने किया फाइनेंशियल नहीं है, do you mean a mother only has money? ਤੁਸੀਂ औरत ਨੂੰ ਖਾਲੀ ਪੈਸੇ ਤੱਕ ਲੈ ਲੈਤਾ ਹੈ।
true, yes,
the compassion and the love and the main the mother has, did he bring it till then money? No, sorry to say,
not at all.
if you still have a well-wisher, you still have the good energy for your children, and you're always giving them the good energy. Today, if she empowers herself, and she goes out on a service to empower other people, her children are all coming running back to her. Do it and see, no? खाली कह दिया गल्ला थोड़ी ना, करके दिखाओ, करके दिखाओ।
एकदम ठीक आंटी, एकदम ठीक। Thank you आंटी।
God bless you, बच्चा।
Thank you।
जी बलजीत मैम जी।
Unmute, unmute.
हाँ जी, सो ਭੂਆ ਜੀ ਜੋ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਚ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੋ empowerment ਦਾ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਜੋ ਦੂਸਰੇ I think some misunderstanding ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ empowering means truly speaking ਸੱਚ ਦਾ ਮਾਰਗ।
Yes,
exactly words ਵਿੱਚ ਅਗਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਨਾ, so this is ਸੱਚ ਦਾ ਮਾਰਗ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਆਪਣੀ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿਖਾਣੀ, ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਈਗੋ ਵਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਪੜ੍ਹੀ ਲਿਖੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਜੌਬ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੀ ਹੈ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਘਰ ਭਾਂਡੇ ਮਾਂਜੋ, ਮੈਂ ਤੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੀ, ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਕਰਾਂਗੀ। ਸੋ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਨਾਟ ਸੱਚ ਦਾ ਮਾਰਗ। ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਚੰਗੇ ਗੁਣਾਂ 'ਚ ਰਹਿ ਕੇ ਸੱਚ ਦੇ ਮਾਰਗ ਤੇ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਹਾਂ, that is way I can empower myself, and this is true not only for women, it's true for men also. It's true for each and every being. This is not truly speaking, ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰੋਗੇ ਤੇ women empowerment, ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੁਣੇ ਅਰਵਿੰਦਰ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਫੀਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ and we go rebellion, ਅਸੀਂ ਮੋਰਚੇ ਕੱਢਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। No, it is I who have to change. I who have to change myself. ਕੋਈ ਆਪਸ ਵਾਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ ਗਈ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਸੱਚ ਦੇ ਮਾਰਗ ਤੇ ਚੱਲਣਾ ਹੀ empowering ourselves ਹੈ। ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਸੱਚ ਦੇ ਮਾਰਗ ਤੇ ਚੱਲਾਂਗੀ, ਸਹੀ ਰਸਤੇ ਚੱਲਾਂਗੀ, ਮੇਰੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਹੀ ਹਨ ਸਾਰੇ। I don't have to force them, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Exactly, humanity. It's for humanity at large. It's not gender biased and gender based. Hanji. So let's celebrate womanhood by coming out of our comfort zone. Let's believe in ourselves. Confidence is not I am better than her. Confidence is I am good, so is she. We will continue our open forum on women empowerment on Thursday, 5th of May. So see you all. Thank you all for joining in. Bye, Guruji Ka Khalsa. Bye, Guruji.
Bye, Guruji Ki Fateh. Fateh.